These journalists, I swear, they can't stop lying. When do you become a liar, though? Like, when you're bored or when you get a job for The Guardian? Like when is the transition from an honest person into a liar happening? Is it when you get your journalistic diploma at the university? And look how they're lying, right? Because there's different types of lies. And this isn't like even a lie by omission. Like they are so proficient at lying that they created a new type of lie. One where you change the definition of something. So what happened? I mean, I wake up this morning and it's like White House targeted in swatting. And I share this with a lot of people and they're like, well, how is it possible? I mean, doesn't the White House have some sort of security for that? Like, do they have like the Secret Service? Like, who gets priority? Does the SWAT officer or the Secret Service guy gets priority? Like, right? And it turns out they changed the definition of swatting. No, this is what they did. This is why I'm even talking about it. Just so you can see how perverse the authoritative sources are. Because it's not just about this article, but these are tactics that they do all the time in order to get clickbait, in order to sensationalize. So apparently, look at this, right? The White House on Monday became the latest victim of a growing U.S. problem. It is swatting. To summon a large number of law enforcement personnel and other first responders to a hoax emergency incident. No. It's not to summon the ambulance. It's not to summon the fire department. No, it's to summon, it's in the fucking name, Guardian. It's to summon the SWAT. The Special Weapons and Tactics. And it's a problem because they have guns. That is the issue. If you call the fire department at someone, it is still a crime. Like, if you call it with no reason, like, you shouldn't do that, obviously. But there are, like, different levels, you know? Like one, put someone's life in danger. While summoning the fire department, you know, you can make the argument that because they're at this house, they're not somewhere else. So it's still a problem for society. But you're not putting that guy in danger. This is how they water down words, chat. This is how they constantly do it. Like you have a term which is very specific. It means something into the mind of the people, and now they're watering it down. Like PTSD, for instance, right? Like PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, was something that war vets used to get. Now you have women complaining that they're getting PTSD from spending too much time online and reading threads on Twitter. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, reading threads on Twitter is quite traumatic. But it's not like being in an actual war zone. And I don't care what psychologists say. It's like the initial term was designated to describe something harrowing. If you want to say that people can get some emotional stress from reading the internet, make a new term for it. But don't use something that's right. So apparently, multiple Washington, D.C. fire ambulance crews rushed at the White House following the emergency call. So this is a spokesperson for District of Columbia Fire and Emergency Medical Services. They say that Joe Biden was not at the residence, and Emergency Medical Services said that Joe Biden was all right. The spokesperson said that a significant number of personnel had to reach the site when they got the call. Okay. So literally, I mean, I can't say it's a nothing burger. But the way they sensationalize it and the way you see the title, you're like, oh my god, this is the U.S. president, okay, like, did they have to get down when they pointed guns at him? Like, this is what you get, right? Like, when you first hear about this event. But no, they called a couple of first responders, which were firemen, and then they went there, they saw that there's no fire, so they left. I mean, I hope they catch the guy, right? Because you're not supposed to take away resources that are meant for saving lives and use them into prank calls and stuff. I do understand that. But it's not what is described by the press. So the Secret Service refrained requests from commenting. They do not want to give... CNN, they gave the details of the dispatch radio call, reporting a fire at Pennsylvania. And the criminal act of swatting has become prevalent in recent weeks with an increasing number of politicians, judges, and prominent officials targeted. Again, swatting is horrible and should not be watered down. You should not use it to describe things that aren't swatting. It's in the name. It's in the fucking name. It's SWAT ING. It's not that complicated, journalists. You don't really have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to find new definition. If people express it and they gave such an accurate name for it, then why are you going around and are like, well, actually, no, it involves... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's specifically calling the SWAT. I would say that maybe like calling the cops, it would be similar, right? Like calling someone with a gun. That's pretty much what it is, right? Like calling people with weapons. My God, why is my phone acting funny? Anyway. Among the most serious incidents was 8 days ago when police responded. See? Police! Yeah, this is a swatting. Yeah, no, I agree. When police responded to a false call of a shooting in Washington, D.C., the home of Tanya Chutkan, the judge overseeing the federal election subversion case against Donald Trump. Yeah, no, this is an actual case of swatting. Yeah, like the press can report it as such. The Metropolitan Police Department quickly figured out that the call was a hoax, but not before dispatching several units to the residence of Chutkan, who has received several other threats since being assigned to the Trump case last year. Chutkan was the second judge in a charge of Trump trial to have been targeted this month, and apparently there's other Democrats and other people that got it. Other recent pranks incidents have been aimed at 3 members of Congress, Florida Republican Senator Rick Scott, Georgia Republican Congresswoman Major Troller Green, and Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, who removed Trump's name from the 2024 ballot. The Attorney General described the swatting as deeply disturbing in remarks before a private meeting with the Justice Department. Well, I mean, let me put it this way, right? Most places in Romania, and I'm pretty sure that in America is the same, the police is supposed to be connected to the community. So if you call the cops on Mr. Garrison, and everyone knows Mr. Garrison, everyone like knows he's a frail old man, they're not going to go in guns blazing, right? They're going to knock at the door. Meanwhile, if you call the cops on Gustavo Fring, it's a different interaction. Like this is what happens when the law enforcement is rooted into the community. So they know the people who live there. But when you have like a federal paramilitary force that is not connected with the community, well, you have stuff like this. I don't know what the solution is, to be honest. But this has been going on for years, especially, and it's not just politicians, right? Like people talk about it now because it's politicians, but it happened to private citizens as well. And so far, they don't seem to have a solution for it. You know, it's interesting that they have a solution for the climate crisis. Like they have a solution to change the weather, but they can't have a solution for something that is incredibly dangerous and it puts the life of risk of average citizens as well as politicians. You know, it's like, but whatever. Let me know what you guys think though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.